Don't move.
You got me. Nice potato gun. Barrel's a little long. Between that and the wide gauge, it's...
Now that RDJ is stepping into the role of Dr. Doom in Avengers Doomsday, it's the perfect time to chat about what Iron Man 4 could look like in the MCU after Avengers Secret Wars. There's a chance Marvel could finally deliver on a multiverse cameo they missed, bringing things full circle. Plus, what other directions could Marvel take with the Iron Man storyline post-Secret Wars? Let's dive into everything we know so far about the future of Iron Man in the MCU and more. As we know, the upcoming crossover Avengers Secret Wars could deliver on a multiverse cameo that was missed in Phase 4, potentially tying back to the very beginning of the MCU. The possibilities are pretty much endless, especially now that Robert Downey Jr. is stepping in as Dr. Doom. Marvel is set to bring back a mix of modern and classic heroes and villains, creating a huge event that celebrates both the MCU and Marvel's rich history. This could mean cameos from Fox's X-Men universe, Sony's Spider-Man universe, and a ton of MCU characters. We might also see some cinematic heroes that never got their moment, or even fan casts that people have been waiting for. Think about how Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness finally gave us John Krasinski as Reed Richards after fans had been begging for it. Or how Channing Tatum finally got to play Gambit in Deadpool and Wolverine after his solo movie was stuck in development forever. Marvel had the chance to make another fan-favorite casting happen in Doctor Strange 2, but it could finally become reality in Secret Wars. What's even more interesting is that Tom Cruise almost appeared as Iron Man in Doctor Strange 2. Before Robert Downey Jr.'s career comeback as Tony Stark, the role was actually close to going to Cruise. In the book MCU: The Reign of Marvel Studios, it's revealed that Marvel initially wanted Cruise for the part, but Kevin Feige mentioned that Cruise's asking price at the time was too high for Marvel to gamble on, especially for an unproven superhero movie. In an interview with Rolling Stone, the Doctor Strange 2 screenwriter revealed that they considered having Cruise cameo as Iron Man during the Illuminati scene, but it didn't happen because of scheduling issues. "There's no cut footage of Tom Cruise," he said, "but I love Tom Cruise, and I even asked Kevin Feige, could we get Tom Cruise as Iron Man? I remember reading back in the day that Cruise was supposed to play Iron Man." Apparently, Cruise was busy shooting Mission Impossible 7 and 8. Even though he didn't make it, that Illuminati scene was already packed with cameos. Haley Atwell's Captain Carter, Lashana Lynch's Captain Marvel, John Krasinski as Reed Richards, Anson Mount's Black Bolt, and of course, Patrick Stewart's Charles Xavier. Still, if Cruise had shown up, fans would have lost their minds. But hey, there's always a chance Marvel could still pull off this epic cameo in the future. Introducing Tom Cruise as an alternate Iron Man in Secret Wars could pave the way for Iron Man 4 to explore one of the most fascinating and dark storylines from the comics, Superior Iron Man by Tom Taylor and Yildiray Cinar. This version of Tony Stark isn't your typical hero. He's a complex character whose darker side takes control, turning him into a tyrannical figure obsessed with power and control. In Superior Iron Man, Tony creates a version of the extremis virus that enhances people's abilities and offers them perfection. But there's a catch. He charges a hefty price for it, essentially controlling those who can afford it. His desire to ensure peace and order pushes him to extreme, almost villainous lengths. This storyline dives deep into the moral ambiguity of Tony Stark, exploring how his arrogance and obsession with control can turn him into a dangerous figure. It's a brilliant study of what happens when Tony's worst qualities, his hubris, intelligence, and need to be the smartest person in the room, go unchecked. Bringing this into the MCU with Tom Cruise's version of Tony Stark could offer a fresh take on the character, allowing the MCU to explore a side of Tony we've never seen on screen. While RDJ's Iron Man always had redeemable qualities, even in storylines like Civil War, where he played the antagonist, Superior Iron Man presents a Tony who is a full-blown villain, someone who needs to be stopped. Cruise, with his intense screen presence, could perfectly capture this darker, more ruthless version of Stark. A Tony who's lost his moral compass and is willing to sacrifice anything for control. Secret Wars could introduce Cruise's Superior Iron Man as a variant from a different universe, one that's already embraced this tyrannical mindset. This would set the stage for Iron Man 4, where this alternate Tony, now in the main MCU timeline, could rise to power and clash with Earth's heroes. The MCU could explore the ripple effects of his control over technology, pushing other characters to challenge him. Imagine an MCU where this new Iron Man is no longer the savior, but a villain bent on reshaping the world in his image. It would also be an amazing way to continue Tony Stark's legacy in the MCU without erasing RDJ's iconic portrayal. The storyline offers a thrilling look at the darkest parts of Tony's personality, while still paying homage to the character's intelligence and brilliance. Plus, it could create powerful emotional moments as other MCU heroes, especially those who were close to Downey Jr. Stark, are forced to confront this twisted version of their former ally. A superior Iron Man storyline could bring about some intense moral questions, especially if Cruz's Tony tries to justify his actions as being for the greater good, something that RDJ's version struggled with but never crossed the line. Watching Cruz's Iron Man go head-to-head with some of the MCU's brightest heroes, perhaps even facing characters like Riri Williams or Sam Wilson, could make for a thrilling Iron Man 4 plot that dives deep into the character's legacy while exploring the consequences of power and control. And if Cruz's superior Iron Man ended up fighting RDJ's Doctor Doom in Secret Wars, it would be a full-circle moment, pitting two versions of Tony Stark against each other, the hero who became a villain and the villain who could have been the hero. On the flip side, we could also see the infamous Iron Man by Brian Michael Bendis and Alex Maleev, which presents a compelling redemption arc for one of Marvel's most notorious villains, Victor Von Doom. Instead of continuing down a dark path, Doom decides to take on the mantle of Iron Man after Tony Stark is incapacitated. This move not only transforms his character, but also leads to one of the most intriguing redemption stories in Marvel history. Set after the events of Civil War II, where Tony is out of commission, Doom steps up to take over as Iron Man. It's a fascinating twist that flips the script on the traditional hero-villain dynamic. The storyline dives deep into Doom's psyche, exploring what motivates him and how he tries to prove that he can be a hero, even when everyone expects him to fail. The emotional depth of this arc is reminiscent of the Superior Spider-Man, where Dr. Octopus takes over Peter Parker's body, but in this case, it's all about Victor Von Doom striving to redeem himself in the eyes of the world. This could open up exciting possibilities for Iron Man 4 if Tom Cruise's Iron Man variant were to encounter a reformed Doctor Doom, especially if Cruise's character has taken a turn toward villainy. Seeing Doom as Iron Man could create a powerful contrast between the two characters, highlighting the different paths they've taken. While Cruise's Iron Man could embody a darker, more power-hungry approach, Doom would be grappling with his own past and trying to prove he can be a force for good. Plus, introducing Doom as Iron Man would allow for a rich exploration of the MCU's lore, as he struggles with the expectations of being a hero after years of being seen as a villain. It could also create opportunities for other characters to step into the spotlight, whether they're allies or foes, and question what it means to be an Iron Man in a world where the lines between hero and villain are blurred. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Your suggestions for future videos are always welcome in the comments below.